As a consortium, also faced financial progress in 8 months. Engineering progress in 8 months. Engineering group achieved, and the contractor currently a road of 140 achieved, and the contractor currently a road of 100 and falling cross culverts and ensure it remains passed. The overall physical 4 kilometers construction. We will then come to this house. For voting or allowing us to spend that money once we receive, and ensure that we get again and again. It is our top timelines on when we can resolve this challenge. Thank you.
True that this road began in 2016. And as you know, that a road under development or construction cannot be maintained under the normal maintenance. We are putting in place to ensure that this road is motorable. As we speak today, it is true that China, the contractor was back some 2 weeks ago to put the pipes, the culverts. But the road is impassable and cannot be accessed. Mr. Speaker, that road that we're talking about, the minister has some emergency funds under the 10% CS allocation, which can cater for that, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. As the honorable member said, my colleague has said, this road, 2016 up to now, has been assigned 3 times. First of all, the Speaker, although the honorable minister is saying 54 million has been paid, the information I have, because I'm following this lady, the Kalandini 5 kilometers. In fact, Hayabisan Singh kind of stuck on the first bit, which is a honorable member side, and is actually doing those culverts. And Mr. Speaker, if you look at the kind of work, last 2 months ago, I actually lost my minister. I think you need to actually take more keen. This road actually connects through Luanda Kutieno all the way to Mbita and actually all the way to Sori. So it's actually a very major road and it's stuck on this side. So can we really know, this 54 million was paid. Is this China Railways really going back to work? And is Hayabisan Singh really able to complete the Maseno site?
I did meet China Railway number 10 engineering group, and it is they're doing to settle all the pending bills, and having paid the 54.9 million out of the 114 million outstanding. Honorable members, let me undertake to ensure that this particular road, with this contractor, and I've made the contractor to ensure this road is made motorable, and more importantly, because the contract fact that we owe them 3 billion in total on this particular road, having paid the 54.9 million, the outstanding about 50% of that, the same amount, we should be able to get them back to work. And I want to confirm, Dr. Nikal, that this contractor will get back to work. I'll work on that. Thank you.
Kajwang, then Makali.
Mr. Speaker, permit me to ride on this. This is the gateway to my rural home. If you come from Luanda, it is the only direct way through Uyoma in Rarieda constituency, and as you get to Beta through the ferry. So it is a very important road for which I am interested. Mr. Speaker, I listened to the Cabinet Secretary, and I'm sure that he's working on it. But this concept of assignment, I think let us now deal with the issue of principle first. Because as you hear, he is saying that there is a contractor who was on that road, then there was a subcontract to which it was assigned. We have had problems with this concept of assignment.
An assignment is not a subcontract?
Well, they understand it of course it is not, but they understand it in the roads ministry as a contract, as a subcontract. It is a contract. The question, Mr. Speaker, I'm asking is that these people who benefit from assignment, who are themselves independent contractors, and the ministry approves that in transaction between the main or the principal contract to the other, that is where the problem is. Because the first person has billed that bill 1, and that bill 1 is the most it is the most substantial part of the funds which would go into that road. When this other person to whom it is assigned takes the contract, the person basically he takes the contract with the terms and conditions, but there is no money with which the whole thing can be done. So this is the issue, that this second person definitely is not able to complete the road. So, Mr. Speaker, would the minister consider to determine the contract, to terminate the contract? The first contractor, in terms of principle, the first contractor, when he fails, the Bishan saying, they should have terminated that contract and then sought for a new contract in all its terms and conditions.
Are you challenging the validity of the assignment?
I am saying that the question in principle is what is a problem in finishing this road. Okay. Could the minister consider that instead of going this assignment principle, to terminate a contract and then re-advertise it and get new people under the terms and conditions that the ministry would approve? Thank you.
But Honorable Kajwang, if the members are interested in the road being completed quickly, is in an assignment faster than a retendering? Because a retendering will go another 1 year. An assignment is just a legal instrument, which as a good lawyer you know. But anyway, Makali, okay. Give him.
Mr. Speaker, when this debate ensued, it came to my mind that probably going forward, the ministry should adopt a national policy that this assignment where a contractor leaves for the other is really the problem that is hindering the completion of roads.
We hear you. Makali?
Thank you.
Take that.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to ask this supplementary question. Honorable Speaker, there is this road that links Kakamega County and Bungoma County. The Navaholo, Dorofu, Sangalo, Muskoma Road that was abandoned way back in 2017. His predecessor, I think, was in this house and assured us that they were going to advertise the road. The road was re-advertised. Can the Cabinet Secretary confirm to this house and the people of Kandui that, one, the tendering process as a result of the re-advertisement is now complete, and when do we expect the contractor on the road so that I cease these endless visits to the Office of the Director General and the anxiety the people who stay in that particular place are having, because that road has remained like that from 2017 and is totally not motorable at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. Let me take the concern on assignment of the road, which is basically the assignee, let me state, takes the full responsibility, including providing performance guarantee for the works that has been assigned. And why do we assign, honorable members? If we were to go through a tendering process, of course, we take time, but secondly, and more importantly, you want to maintain the old rates. You know that if a road was awarded in 2017, if you assign, we assign with the same terms. If we retender in 2024, it will come with the attendant costs of today. So there is merit in assigning where there is a contractor willing to be assigned. And like I said, with a company like China Railway Number 10 Engineering, they do have capacity. I did indicate that I had a meeting with them last week. I'm going to call them again. The outstanding amount of about 50 million is not much. I'll make sure we start with making the road motorable. A case in question, for example, is when we did this road from Kwale to Kinango to facilitate movements of the constituents to come to Mashujaa Day. And we did ask the contractor to make the road fast motorable so that as they do the road to pitment standard, the road is in very good moram condition. I will undertake to ensure that China Railway number 10 makes this road all the way to Luanda motorable, fast, and secondly, as an assignee with full that we pay all the pending bills in due course as we work together to support the securitization of the 7 shillings. With respect to Navukolo, Mheshimiwa Makali, I'm told the same has been completed, an intention of award, the tendering process, an intention of award issued, a letter of award has been, intention of award has been done, and subject to those number of days lapsing, the award should be done by 14th November 2024, which is tomorrow. Again, we will continue to pursue to ensure that the challenge that really runs across most of the county.
Basil.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask question 79 of 2024 to the CS Road and Transport. Can the CS explain why there has been significant delay in the completion of constructing Matuya Kalakara Kivandini Road to Chasioni Road in Yata constituency? Question number 2. Can the CS provide an update on the expected timeline for the tamaking of the Katangi to Matu Road and the Ndalani to Makuyu Road? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to respond as follows. The upgrading to pitment standard of and maintenance of Matu, Kalakala, Kakuku, and Junction A3, Kathulani, Junction C439 roads were awarded to Quito Civil Engineering and Company Limited on 24th February 2017, following a competitive tendering process at a tender sum of 1.268 billion and a performance-based routine maintenance of 130,363,027 Kenya shillings. The contract agreement was signed on 5th May 2017, and the contractor given the commencement order on 21st July 2017. The contract commenced on 19th August 2017, and the works were scheduled to be completed 30 months later, which should have been 19th February 2020, with a defect liability period of 12 months. However, the contractor demobilized and abandoned works, forcing the employer to subcontract the works to other contractors. The following is how the project was subcontracted and the progress so far. 8 kilometers of the 40 kilometers on Matu Kalakala Kaguku section has been subcontracted to MS Daima Construction Limited to fast-track process. The subcontractor has completed up the first seal of the first 4 kilometers and has done 1.7 kilometers for second seal service dressing. So far, he has raised a certificate for payment and is awaiting to be paid to continue work. What we do, honorable members, we do segment the road into many segments, and as you finish the particular section and issue work certificate, upon inspection, you due for payment, but that is outstanding in line with the challenge that we have all talked about over and over again with pending bills. Another 12 kilometers, honorable members, of the 40 kilometers of work has been subcontracted to MS Uso Ngiro Contractors Limited. The contractor is working from 0 kilometers to 10 kilometers, junction C439 on Sioni section in accordance to provision of clause 4.1 of the condition of the contract. The subcontractor has completed the first seal service dressing for the first 4 kilometers of his section. On 30th July 2021, MS Sifel Construction Company was subcontracted 12 kilometers of Matue Kala road section from kilometer 8 to kilometer 20. The subcontractor has completed the first and second milestones up to the second seal service dressing. And on October, honorable members, 14, 2021, MS Kitho Civil Engineering Company Limited was instructed to reinstate the road section from 12 kilometers to 16 kilometers to its original state before he abandoned work. After completion of the reinstatement, MS Kitho was then allowed to complete the road section on 12 November 2021 up to a blacktop or tarmac as per the contract. The main purpose of this process was to fast-track the work progress. The contractor has managed to complete 4 kilometers of the blacktop on the first seal dressing. On 7th December 2021, Litho Supplies and General Traders Limited was awarded the subcontract for 8 kilometer Kalakala to Kaguku section. Currently is ongoing with earthworks, and he has managed to complete about 2.5 kilometers of top subgrade. The subcontractor has also done a cross culvert within the first 2 kilometers. To date, honorable members, 79 months progress of approximately 54.3%. Currently, Speaker, honorable members, there are no plans for tarmacking Katangi to Matu Road and the Ndalani to Makuyu Road due to insufficient budgetary allocation. However, there are plans for routine maintenance and spot improvement. The allocation for CP Muranga, Kisiki, Ndalani, Sophia Road in the financial year 24-25 is Kenya shillings 6,816,949, and for Matu, Kathiuni, Igombe, Katangi Road is 12,268,999, respectively. Those are the amounts which are available for maintenance in the printed estimates 2024-25. Thank you, honorable members.
Basil. Give him the mic.
Thank you, CS, for the response. If you look at the road from Matu to Ekalakala, there are so many potholes, yet the road has never been completed. So we ask, why did the engineers, were there poor quality supervision on the road? Number two, there are several Maram Ips that have been left between Kivandini to Chasioni Road, making motorists not be able to use the road. Number three, they skipped Mbembani to Kivingoni Market, that section which is within Yata constituency, and actually my constituents have been asking why was it skipped, and so many local suppliers were never paid. So we request the CS to look into that and to respond. Thank you.
Thank you. Women Rep Tarakaniti. Give her the mic. You are assigning the wrong person. There you are.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, my question goes to an issue that is so disturbing, an issue that is disturbing the people of Tharaka-Nithi County, the neighboring counties, the entire country and the world. The Kila-Nithi Bridge. Mr. Speaker, ended as a month ago without the people of Tharaka-Nithi and the entire country burying their relatives from the Nithi Kila Bridge. Mr. Speaker, sir, many have acquired disabilities from the Kila Bridge. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, I'm asking the minister, what action has the ministry undertaken or is undertaking towards redesign, rerouting, or erection of permanent accident arrest interventions at the Nithi Bridge black spot? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Mutunga again. Let me give people who have not asked Mutunga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have several roads in Tigania West, and none of them has works going on. Mr. Speaker, I do not want to speak about St. Anne, Kagaene, Myompon, because I want a meeting with the minister. But Mr. Speaker, my desperation is that the capture of this road has always been avoided. I would like the minister to know that I have written, I have talked to the ends of the institutions, and they do not capture these roads. Mr. Speaker, during the last state visit, Kera in his wisdom scrapped the tarmac of one road because of the potholes and on the fear that the end of state will pass on that road. Up to now, there is no center allocated into that road. It's not in the books. Mr. Speaker, there's another road from Kiajai to Isiolo.
You are making a speech. Ask a
Mr. Speaker, what I would like the minister to tell us, when we went to health, to energy, he had a very clear way of rationalizing. We would like to know whether this rationalization formula is going to be operated on or rather utilized in the Ministry of Roads and Transport. Because, Mr. Speaker, what we have is total discrepancy in terms of allocation of resources in the roads. You realize that some constituencies have no roads, while others have got 7 or 8 roads. So there is a problem in this country, and we need that problem solved. What is the promise of the minister? Again, there is a route that I...
Order, Mutunga.
Mr. Speaker, let me explain this particular one.
Let him finish. Give him to finish.
Mr. Speaker, there is a road which I forced upgrading. I went to the National Roads Committee Convention, the National Roads National Roads Board Convention, and they pushed for movement of a road from Kera to Kena. In other words, from to be in Kena. That road has not yet been gazetted for 3 years in a row. I would like to know why the road has not been gazetted as at now.
Rueda, but you guys, you MPs also be fair to the minister. He's come with answers on questions that were asked. Now we are springing questions from every part of the country. But go ahead.
Asante Speaker. Ni vile mwakilishi wa wananchi na wakituona hapa leo tuko hatujauliza, tukienda huko tutakuwa tuna shida. Mwanzo nimpongeze waziri. Waziri ni muungwana sana. Tukienda ofisi yake tunapokelewa vizuri. Nataka tu waziri ajue kwamba Lamu Mashariki nafikiri ndio eneo bunge peke yake Kenya haina hata inchi moja ya barabara ya lami. Hata inchi moja hakuna. Na barabara zetu za Lamu Mashariki ni 3. Tafadhali muhakikishe mtuambie zimefikia vipi mikakati yake. Angalau na sisi tuwe tuna lami. Barabara ya pili ni kuanza Hindi tu Kiunga ambayo ni kilomita kama 120. Hiyo barabara sahihi haipitiki kabisa kwa sababu ya wale wahalifu wanaweka IDs. Sasa imefungwa kabisa. Ward 2 Lamu Mashariki huwezi kupitia hiyo barabara mpaka upitie bahari. Sasa imefungwa, imekuwa lazima uende na boat, na saa nyingine bahari ni shida sana. Kwa hivyo naomba tu waziri alifikirie, kama hana majibu lakini afikirie hata pale pabaya tu kutengeneze kidogo ili barabara ifunguke. Nasikia pesa ilipewa Mchina iko, atafute tu, na kama insecurity si shida, KDF wako tayari, wanafanya kazi vizuri, wanapeana security. Kama imeshindikana kwa ministry, wapewe KDF wafanye ili barabara ifunguke.
Asante sana. Give her.
Bwana Speaker, kwetu Lamu Mashariki mazingira tofauti. Sisi maeneo yetu sio ile nyinyi mnaikuta za bahari. Sasa kuna kijiji kinaitwa Mbwajumali, karibu kinabebwa na bahari chote, watoto wanabebwa na kilijengwa kidogo, contractor hakumaliza akakimbia. Tafadhali iko pia kwa ministry yako, mtu angalilie. Asante bwana.
Aichumu Gichimu, member for Gishugu.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. The people that I represent of Gishugu find themselves in a situation akin to Honorable Basil's. And I don't want to go to because the minister or the CS has already given an elaborate plan on how to revive the roads that have already stalled. But my question is, are those roads that have already been contracted, are you able, just like many other areas that you've said, in Nigeshogo, to see to it that they are also motorable by grading and marraming? Because when these matters are scheduled for tarmacking through the normal CARA funds, mostly they are omitted because they've already been contracted for tarmacking. So actually, it's an area that you need to talk to the contractor. And if you have these plans, and you are saying soon, why don't you then talk to the contractors to go back on site, have an agreement with them that in 10 or 5 or whatever period, you'll be able to start paying them so that they can resume work, and our constituencies will actually benefit from these roads that have stalled for many years. Thank you.
Meshimbogo. These are general questions.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
So you should give a general policy direction.
Mheshimiwa Spika, napenda kumpongeza waziri na nimuulize swali la kivuko cha feri ya Mtongwe. Kivuko cha feri ya Mtongwe kiliweza kusitishwa kufanya huduma zake kwa wakazi wa Likoni. Na hivi sasa tukiangalia kivuko cha Likoni, kumekuwa na msongamano mkubwa sana, hata kumekuwa na hatari kubwa sana za maajali. Ukiangalia Mheshimiwa Spika, hivi sasa tutakuwa na michezo ile ya Yala ambayo inakuja katika sehemu ya Mombasa. Na muuliza waziri, ni mikakati gani ambayo tutaweka ili tuweze kupunguza ule msongamano? Kwa sababu kivuko cha Mtongwe kilikuwa kinapunguza msongamano wa abiria na kilikuwa kinasaidia sana. Na wakati kulikuwa na kile kivuko cha kuolea, kile tulikuwa tunaita Kiingereza floating bridge, pia kilikuwa kinasaidia. Na hivyo vyote vimeondolewa, na hivi sasa kumekuwa na shida na kumekuwa na msongamano mbaya sana mpaka kuleta hatari za ajali nyingi. Swali lingine la mwisho ni barabara ya Dongo Kundu, ambayo tunashukuru serikali wameng'ang'ana kutengeza barabara hii, na imebakia hatua kidogo sana iweze kufunguliwa rasmi na Mheshimiwa Rais Daktari William Ruto. Lakini katika barabara hiyo kuna hatari, kuna mwanya ambao umewachwa wazi, na juzi tumempoteza kijana, aliweza kutumbukia kwa sababu barabara hiyo iko juu na chini ni bahari. Kijana alitumbukia na kuweza kupoteza maisha yake. Tunakuomba waziri uangalie swala hilo ili hii barabara iweze kumalizwa, rais afungue rasmi na zile hatari za kupoteza maisha ya wale wanaotumia barabara hiyo iweze kuzingatiwa. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Waziri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was actually not going to ask a question because I thought that when there are questions, you respond to the very specific one. Nonetheless, because I'm seeing that the questions are also taking on policy direction. Thank you. I want to ask a question which is similar to what the Honorable Fogishugu has raised. And for me, it's really a policy issue that when you have commenced construction and then you stop because of lack of funds, it shouldn't be within the charity of the minister, but a policy issue in the ministry that you must allocate funds. Like right now, the road between Sindo and Bita is actually only about 2-3 kilometers. I was there last week, but you spend almost 1 hour because they actually messed up the road. We cannot allocate it in Kura. But when this young man called Morara wants to attack, he goes to my constituency, even though he went on the Karoli side. But because maybe Karoli is still relatively new, he was attacking me, saying, Millie, what are you doing? I'm not the one doing those roads. It's the national government. But because we are not assigning money for routine maintenance, what is the policy of the ministry? And if you don't have a policy, can you come up with a policy for just regular maintenance so that it's not dependent on policy, on charity of a given CS? but it's a given that it must be allocated. Even if you want to do that road right now, I can't do anything. And it's a small portion that we can do with the Kenya.
Thank you. Betsimba.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kunipa
Minister,
fursa.
you will compress all this into a policy direction.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kunipa fursa ya kuweza kuuliza swali la ziada. Je, waziri anaufahamu barabara katika eneo bunge la Kisauni ambayo imeanza Kiembeni ipitie Mwakirunge kwenda Rabai? Na Mheshimiwa Rais alikuja kuanzisha rasmi barabara hiyo inayojengwa na Kera. Alipoondoka Mheshimiwa Rais, matingatinga yote yaliondoka yakamfuata. Anazo habari hizo na ana mipango gani kuweza kuendeleza hiyo barabara badala ya kumwekea aibu Mheshimiwa Rais?
Thank you. Let's have answers to those.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. I think Honorable Millie summarized it very well that we should have a policy framework on how to deal with roads which have been contracted and ensure that we do allocate funds so that those roads are not stranded, even for the purpose of motorability. I want to state here, honorable members, that I'll work very closely with the House to ensure that when we run our budgets, we do ensure that we give priority to ongoing projects. We do some parity and equitable. With respect to really the challenge that we've had for a long time on bending bills, the support that we've received from this House on the 7 shillings additional road maintenance levy, and which I have confirmed we are fairly advanced in securitizing to ensure that we raise some 170, 175 billion Kenya shillings, we should be able to get all contractors back to work. But more importantly, even as we do that, and because there is really, you can have sight of the entire runway on this particular project, we will push the contractors to make the roads motorable. Talking to a road like Sindombita, I want to confirm merely that that particular road will now not stop. We are working on it. I don't know, but majorly because we are raising the funds to pay all the contractors. We had a bending bill on that road of about 540 million Kenya shillings on certificates issued, but there was only an allocation of 270 million. Having paid the full amount, you can see the contractor still with a hole of 300 million, but I've equally had a meeting with civil engineering construction company, the same company that did the road from Kwale Kinango, and I can assure us that because of what we are doing on securitization, a lot of contractors are seeing some hope, and we are able to get a number of them back to work. So a road like Sindo Mbita, I can assure honorable members, just to pick one, that it will not stop. With respect to Gishugu, Banagishimo, we will, like I've said, maintain. We are seeking to ensure that the contractors make the roads motorable. Traditionally, contractors should provide a road for users during construction. So we cannot be constructing a road, leaving heaps of soils. We then abandon works because of non-payment, and we leave the road not motorable. So we are going to, it's an agenda. I gave the example of Kinango Kwale, where we made the road really good on Moram, so that as they work on the tarmacking, and even albeit the challenge of pending bills and payments, the road or the users of the Kenyans users do not face that challenge. Honorable John Mutunga, I want to confirm, like when we met, that we're going to address the various challenges on the road programs in the country. We have built a good database that can help us to work together with the House to ensure that we do have a very amicable way of allocating funds to ongoing projects, to roads across the whole country with some level of equity. Captain Ruwaida, thank you for congratulating me equally to a number of members who have congratulated me today. I want to confirm that we'll work very closely together. Mtakawanda Road to Kisingitini, we'll tender it next week. We'll put it to tender next week. With respect to, I'm just saying, I mean, there's a lot of tendering happening next week. With respect to, I think I mentioned Tigania West for John. With respect to, what was the other, Tharakanithi Bridge, I want to confirm we are all concerned about this Tharakanithi Bridge, and we are paying a lot of attention. We have installed a lot of bumps or humps on the road. We have installed signage and will continue to improve. We have separated the uplink traffic from the downlink traffic. We are in the process of finalizing the redesign for the new bridge, which is currently ongoing, and we will put funds. You are aware that leadership at every level has made commitment to correcting Nithi Bridge. We don't like the name Killer Bridge. We should get it back to Nithi Bridge. And so we are paying attention to that. Our potholes on this road that is complicated and that we have had to assign or give to so many contractors, Matu, Ikalagala, I want to confirm that we will work on the potholes. Like I've said, we'll make the roads motorable. And with the 4 or 5 contractors on site, the issue of pending bills and the fundraising we are doing through securitization, we are going to pay attention and ensure that these small sections with all these contractors, Sifel, Kito, Usongiro, and so on and so forth, address and do what they are supposed to do. The floating bridge in, where is this? In Mutongwe. We removed the floating bridge in Mutongwe because it had its own challenges. We know the challenges we are facing with the Likoni ferry, but luckily, Mishimbogo, we are finalizing the Dongokundu Kibundani Road, which is basically finished. I think we are almost seeking a date for official commissioning of that road, and we will move most of the traffic. We'll work together with the leadership. I was in Mombasa last week, and we had a session with the governor for Mombasa, Abdul Swamad, and we want to work together to see how to decongest Likoni ferry, how to even provide some land around the ferry as a holding ground, which I do know that Kenya Railways did lease out to some other investor, and we are working to address that small challenge. So, honorable members, let me just say that allow us to work in another 1-2 months, max 3 months, to sort out the pending bills through securitization of the 7 shillings. I want to thank the House, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, for the support we have received in the securitization process. This will go a long way in sorting out the pending bills, which amounts to about 174 billion today. And we can get all the contractors back to work. We'll be more cautious, we'll be more careful to ensure that we do not get into that situation by assigning new projects where there is no revenue or investments or cash flow to support maturing work certificates. So, honorable members, thank you for your support. I will continue to receive you to address the specific roads in the various counties in this great country. I will continue to receive you in my office as I continue to learn. Today, I'm just 90 days in office, and I think I was asking myself what I will possibly have to say on the 100th day, but we'll continue to work together. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, we've done 3 hours on question time. I want the question by Sarah Correa to be the last for today, and invite the minister to be back here in 2 weeks to answer the remaining questions. So Sarah Korere, ask your question. That will be the last for today. And Sarah, before you ask, take your seat. Members, tomorrow, Malulu, your question will come after 2 weeks. All of you who are on the order paper, we have bills also to deal with. And I think we have extracted sufficient material from the minister today. He will be back here in 2 weeks. Before Sarah Korere asks the question, tomorrow we have a Kamkunji at 11. All of you and those who are not here be here for that Kamkunji. And ministers, you go to answer the last question. Remember to remain engaged with the Baraki Club for Yala Games. Sarah Korere.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise to ask question number 127 of 2024. Can the minister state the reasons for delay in completion of construction works on Doldol Nanyuki Road in Laikipia North constituency? Number 2, state when the ministry intends to complete construction works. And 3, provide details of the outstanding payments, if any, to the constructor on the scope of works for construction on the said road.
Minister.
Thank you again, honorable members. Thank you, Mheshimiwa Korere. Let me go straight to and acknowledge the delay in completion of the road, of the said road, Doldol Nanyuki, in Laikipia constituency, which has been caused by non-performance by the contractor who was engaged to do the works. Shipili Enterprise Limited has been slow in the process, and we have had several meetings in order to engage him to expedite the works. Honorable members, I did have a meeting about this with Sarah Korere, and we are working on how to ensure that we accelerate that work and even provide enough funds to address the pending bill that we did see on this particular road. 2 management meetings have been held with the contractor in which they were asked to go back to site and resume works. However, they have not heeded the call, and so the employer will seek recourse on the next step of action according to the contract terms. The scope included the following: site clearance to include heavy bush clearing, tree and stump removals, evacuation and filling for structures, culverts and drainage works to include majorly new culverts installation, grading and graveling works to include light grading of the whole section and then spot graveling. Road furniture repairs maintenance to include installation of 20 in number concrete bollards. The contractor has no outstanding payment. Sorry, I did indicate that they had outstanding payment. I think the point was the funds allocated to the road is something that we discussed with Mheshimiwa, and Mheshimiwa, we need to have another cup of tea. Thank you. As regarding the Mbaraki Stadium, honorable members, I have worked very closely with Mheshimiwa Osoro and Faith Gitau, Mheshimiwa, and Mbaraki progress today is 80% complete. We have challenges, small challenges on the sitting area and the common amenities like toilets and the changing rooms. I want to confirm that as of yesterday, I did hold a meeting and we are looking at NYS moving in to do most of the handiworks. Kenya Power supporting us in doing most of the lighting, but I want to confirm that the tartan is the asphalt, the tarmacking of the places that needed to be asphalt, and the tartan to be installed will be shipped and it will come in on time and the stadium will be ready. We are also looking at the other gymnasium stadium to ensure where the other indoor games will be. And we did yesterday give an indicative budget approval to ensure that we are able to run through the coming 3 weeks and make the facility ready so that our parliament can host the East African Legislative Assemblies with a better dignity than we have been hosted in the other countries. So I'm on top of it with Bwana Osoro, with Gitau there, and thank you for your support. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Sarah Korere. Do you have a supplementary?
Thank you, Speaker. And Speaker, I want to acknowledge indeed that the Cabinet Secretary has himself taken up the issue and called me severally about the road. But again, the CS, I want to inform you and plead with you with a lot of humility that the people of Laikipia North are suffering, untold suffering, because of the status of that road. Waziri, just the other day we lost 2 people who were shot by bandits, not very serious gunshot wounds, but wounds that would have been saved if they would have reached Nanyuki in good time. But because of the status of that road, they couldn't. It is also clear that Shibili Construction Company does not have the capacity to go back to that site. So the earlier you expedite the process of bringing an alternative person, the better for us. Again, on the 0 kilometer of that road, because that contract, I think, covers 15 kilometers, there is a place that Kenya is taking care of. And they brought on site a company called Nexotech, which was supposed to do some emergency works. That contractor reported for 3 days and disappeared. So you wonder what emergency work is when there is no emergency work. Actually, the people, the road users, took it upon themselves to construct that road using their own resources, their own hands, while we know Kenya has given somebody a contract and that contractor has disappeared. I've called the regional engineer for Upper Eastern several times, and he himself confesses to me that the contractor cannot even pick his calls. So, you know, we are just left as lame ducks. You don't know what you are waiting for. Again, in Laikipia North CS, Laikipia North is the biggest constituency. It is bigger than Laikipia East and Laikipia West combined. There is no road network. The road that connects Timao, Lokusero, all the way to the constituency headquarters at Doldol is completely washed out. It is a road that is under Kenya in the Upper Eastern. Waziri, we need, if nothing else, we just need some first aid, because that road goes through Mgogodo Forest. We know the history of Mgogodo Forest and banditry and insecurity, so it is a very critical security road. For the Doldol Nanyuki Road, I appreciate that even His Excellency the President is so committed to see that road constructed. And Waziri, you know, for the first time, if that road is constructed, the people of Laikipia North will feel that independence has actually come to Laikipia North.
Honorable Cabinet Secretary, I'll give the next speaker, and then your point of order, Honorable Junet. We are not giving we're not taking any more supplementary questions. You have come in too late. So, Honorable Member for Chesume.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, and I rise to ask the CS what the ministry is doing to ensure that the contractor assigned to Danger Chemuswa Road, which has not only stalled, but there is no maintenance ahead of works in that particular road, and that road is not passable and not motorable at all. And that road, when a CS, was launched actually way back in 2016 by the Uhuru government, and up to now it has not taken off. There is also a road, Chepterit Chepkober Kaiboi, which is on Kenya, that, that has also stalled, and apart from it being stalled, there was maintenance ahead of works on that road, but the contractor decided to just take the machines midway and say that he doesn't have enough money for that road. Baraton's Mokamobo Road under Kura is another concern on a CS. That road is around 8 kilometers, and we had agreed actually being allocated 1 kilometer every year, but for the last 2 years that road has also stalled, and now there is no maintenance on the remaining part of the road, which is impassable. Lastly, there are 2 bridges CS, and those ones have caused fatal accidents. People were buried the other day on the Makonge Baraton Bridge, which right now is very, very dangerous and impassable. And I don't know what the ministry is doing about it. And another one called Samo Kamurgiwa Bridge, amongst many, many of those bridges. Lastly, there's a road which had been allocated funds on GOK called Kaptel Chomisia, which we had asked for funds when the previous minister was in office. Actually, it took time, and the other day it was awarded, but the works have not started. The only problem is that road took too long until there was a CSR from Kipchabo Tea Estate. That road right now is motorable and good, but there's an adjacent road which is very bad, and we had requested the RD to change or to do something so that we do not waste the taxpayers' money, and it seems they are saying that their hands are tight. So why would we actually lose money on the road of Kaptel Chomisia while there's an adjacent road that is not good, and this one else has been done? So please intervene. Thank you so much.
Okay, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, I think those are the last questions.